it's your girl Renee from Tony and Renee 1. So today, we want to talk to you about long distance relationships. Right after this. Hey y'all, it's Renee, and I'm sitting here with my husband of 7 years, Mr. Tony. Say hey, baby.
What's up, y'all?
Not only have we been married 7 years, but we've been together 13.
What?
You heard me, 13. And y'all know I ain't
yeah.
old. So we've been together for a long time,
Yeah.
okay? Right. So we just wanted to make a video about long distance relationships because we know what it's like.
Yeah.
We know how to make it work. But we also know that a lot of times people can get in your ear and tell you that it won't work. So we just wanted to share some tips with you that helped us out. So make sure y'all stay tuned to our video. So let me give you a little backstory first, just so you can kind of know how we met. So I'm not gonna shout nobody out, even though there are people who were very involved in connecting us. You know who you are. We love you. So we had some mutual friends in common. We was like 17 years old, and they knew before we even knew that we was a good fit.
Yeah.
So we ended up, connecting, and I think it was like less than a year. It was something like, y'all, to me, as the romantic that I am, I love romance movies, and y'all, for me, it was like everything. It was like a whole summer before like senior high school, and we kicked it, got to know each other, it was real tough. So we stayed together, went on through senior year, fell in love, and then we got into 2 different colleges.
Yeah, sure did.
So it was great that we were going to college in the first place. We were happy we got in.
Yeah.
But we also knew that we were going to 2 different colleges that were like 100+ miles away from each other. So we knew at that moment, this is gonna be a long distance relationship. And remember, we're going from kicking it every day in the same city in the summer to both being new freshmen on a new campus, away from home for the first time, and in a relationship, long distance.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it wasn't scary, but we were pretty ambitious, so we took it on.
Yeah.
We had people telling us, don't do it, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Don't even try it.
Yeah.
But we did, and we still kicking it 13 years later. So we just wanted to share with y'all some things that work for us, so that if you're in a long distance relationship, or if you're thinking about being in a long distance relationship, take notes, because this might help you out.
That's right.
Let them know, baby.
That's right. So there are a few things that you can do if you're in a long distance relationship or considering a long distance relationship. The first thing you want to think about is setting some ground rules, right? You want to be able to set some expectations on what you want in your relationship and the things that you don't want, that you're not going to tolerate in your relationship. So you want to think about how you're going to hang with your friends, honesty and commitment levels and things like that. So those are the big things that you want to think about to be able to set those ground rules in your relationship, so you don't have any barriers or some type of hiccups that cause you all to break up.
Absolutely right. And I second you on that. And with the commitment thing and the honesty, make sure that it's both of y'all.
Yeah.
Not just one person that wants to commit fully, but both people want to commit by choice and want to do the work to make it work together. Okay. So my second tip would be, have a schedule and try to communicate with each other. Now, I'm gonna share something with you. I was 18, in love. Do not call your man all the time.
Yes.
Do not call your woman all the time, fellas.
Yeah.
So you can check in periodically. I had to learn that. It's okay. Because it was new to us. We was younger. Because we still young. We was younger.
Yeah.
And it was just all new at the same time. New college, new school, new workload, new relationship. So make sure that you set aside some time to communicate. You don't want to over communicate and do it too much.
Yes.
But you want to make sure that you have something that's yours.
Right.
So here's an example that we did. We did not go to sleep that evening without talking to each other.
That's right.
So we had an evening talk time. People will try to interrupt that.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go such and such. Let's do this and that. Okay, that's cool, whatever. As long as it doesn't interfere with that time that you blocked out to talk to your partner. So make sure that you have something set in stone that works for y'all. And if you decide to change it, make sure you both agree on the change. But make sure you're communicating. Because in a long distance relationship, that's all you got. You're not seeing each other. So hearing each other's voice, talking to each other, that's really important.
Yeah. And then also you kind of want to figure out, what ways you're going to try to communicate or meet up with each other regularly. Are you going to send each other texts? Are you going to, FaceTime each other? Are you going to talk to each other through social media? Try to figure out what type of technology you're going to use to talk to each other, and use that technology. You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to send texts all day throughout the day, and then when the time comes for you all to talk to each other face to face, you don't have anything to talk about. You've been talking all day long, right?
Right.
So you don't want to do that. So you want to try to figure out, what's the best way for you. So if text works for you, and FaceTime works for you, pick one and try to stick with it for a week, and then maybe change it up next week or something like that. So those are some things you probably want to look at and be able to implement in your long distance relationship, just to try to keep it strong.
Well said. So the next thing we think would be make visits to each other. So it's not like you're going to see each other every day, right? Which actually is kind of a good thing, because you're letting time build up so you can miss each other. That was one thing that was really important to us. And that's one positive way to look at it, since long distance relationships are looked at so negatively.
Yeah.
A positive is, look how much space you get to miss him or to miss her.
Yes.
And then when you finally see him or her, it's like, you don't want to leave, okay? Trust me, you don't want to leave. So make visits to each other. So one thing with us being in college, we knew, here's a little something we did. So you know how you get these breaks to go home with your family?
Spring break,
You get spring breaks, you get winter breaks, right? Our family's probably gonna be watching this now, but like, what, y'all did that? Well, yeah, surprise, we did this. So here's what we did. So if our break started on like the 19th, like in our actuality started the 19th, we would start our time together on the 19th.
Yeah.
So maybe like he would come up to my school, or I would go up to his school, bags already packed. But we wouldn't go home until like the 21st, 22nd.
Yeah.
So we had the first 2 or 3 days together alone, and then we went out to our family.
Yeah.
We got to do both.
Yeah.
Because also being in college, we have a lot of money for gas.
Yeah.
So what about to be no 2, 3, 4, 5 trips in one season? Okay, you got to get it all done on this Christmas break and be done.
Yeah.
So we had to find a way to take advantage of the break, but still be able to see each other.
And plus, going to college, I had a car, but my first car was pretty much raggedy. It was not road ready at all. So it was really difficult for me to be able to get up to her school, driving and things like that. So she a lot of times had a newer vehicle, so she would drive down to my school, hang out, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or, she would drive down to my school, pick me up, and we'll go back to her school.
Because she loves
to drive so much.
No, I don't love to drive. I don't have a CDL. Respect to all those who do. I was loving this man, okay? Still am.
Yeah.
So, but that worked for us.
Yeah.
But remember though, we communicated that. So that wasn't something that happened and it just got sprung on me, or something that got sprung on him. We knew, like, okay, whose turn is it?
Yeah.
Okay? If I came down, in November, how about you come up in December?
Yeah.
So there's some give and take too.
Yeah, it is. So the next thing that you really want to consider in your relationship is have a goal in mind. Have an end goal in your mind of how long you're going to be apart. What does the future look like? And when is your relationship going to come to a point to where it's no longer long distance, when you all can be together? You don't want to stay in a long distance relationship forever. That's not a good thing. You can get catfish. Somebody be out there acting like they're somebody else, but they're really not.
Watch it.
So don't do that. You want to have an end goal in mind. So yeah.
I agree with that, and not just because you can get catfished, and I hope you don't, but also too because goal setting is really important in a relationship.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you just get stagnant and you get comfortable. So where are we going? So for one, for us, we knew when we fell in love before college. We knew already, where are we going to college? To get degrees.
Yeah.
So we knew, okay, we're going to school to get this education. So we know that while we're in school to get this education, we're going to stay together. And then once we get these degrees, let's plan together on what we're going to do next.
Yes.
If we want to get masters, do we want to get them at the same university?
Yeah.
Do we want to move back home and go to school there? Is there an option to go to school online so that we can still be together? What can we do to still have our own individual goals reached, right? Because you're still an individual, but to also have a collective goal as a couple and reach that too.
Yes.
So you can do both. You just have to really communicate and plan. So really have a goal and make sure that it's on the same page.
Yes.
And don't get discouraged if one person's goal doesn't match the other person's. Talk it out. try and figure out how you can make it work. Compromise, give and take is really big on that right there.
Yeah. And then also consider a timeline. Consider creating a timeline of the date and time that you all are going to be together. And hopefully that's for good. So consider making a timeline. So
I agree with that. It just gives you something to look forward to, so you don't just get caught up in this big cloud of the day to day to day, and you look up and it's been 6-7 years and you haven't really talked about anything and planned for anything.
Yeah.
So I do agree, have a timeline.
Yeah.
So my next tip would be the little things. Tony was and still is so good at just doing little things, y'all.
Yeah.
Just because I would go to my little mailbox, my little dorm room, feeling like I was grown, had an apartment. I didn't. It was a on-campus dorm, but that's all right. It was mine, playing house. And I went to my mailbox several times, and it was a card.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this? And I open it up, and it's a card, and it just says, I miss you. And it's got some sweet things in there, written from my honey to me.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere. So part of that, when we first started college, I knew what his dorm address was. He knew what my dorm address was. He apparently had that stored somewhere, so he didn't have to ask me, which didn't alert me to know, well, why is he asking my address? He already had it, he already knew.
Yeah.
So when he sent that, it truly caught me off guard. And so that right there, you never know what you're going through in any time of that day, any time of that week. So to know that your partner's thinking about you, when you're 100 and some odd miles away, is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So don't forget the little things.
Yeah, the little things. And then one thing that I really appreciate that my wife did for me in college, my mom used to cook a lot for me growing up. And I loved to eat growing up, soul food and things like that. So when we went out to college, I didn't, really have many those type of meals. So my wife, well, at the time, she was my girlfriend. AKA slash fiance.
Right.
And so one time she surprised me. She came up and she had bought me some honey barbecue wings and some biscuits and mashed potatoes, and I was like, oh wow, I was just jumping for joy. So those type of things really, really counted with me. They really did, and she tried her best.
Y'all,
bless her heart.
I'll be honest with you. I have come a long way. Okay, I was 18. What am I doing? I don't know. I was 18. I'm like, I'm gonna throw, this chicken. Y'all, it was some things going on with that, but it's all right. It was my effort.
Yeah.
Okay.
It counts.
And me taking out like Reynolds wrap and wrapping that stuff up and lugging it up the interstate and taking it to him.
Yeah.
But I've come a long way.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything is good to go now. But at 18, I was learning. Okay.
Yeah.
But it was the whole act of, hey, I'm thinking about you. I got this for you, and you wasn't even expecting it.
That's right.
So it's the little things that can kind of pop in, and kind of help each other. Then the next thing probably would be really just your perspective. I think, like I said, people look at long distance relationships like a negative thing. Like I can think of conversations even now, with adults who are, because you could be at any stage of your life and might be in a long distance relationship. For us, we were teenagers going to college. You could be an adult a young adult in a relationship, and maybe your mate got a job offer in a different city, or maybe you got a job offer, or maybe your family's moving, or anything can happen. So it's all about your perspective. And for us, we saw it as an opportunity, like we said earlier, to miss one another, an opportunity to grow closer. Really, I always knew I loved him. I always knew that, he was near and dear to me. But I really got to see, the strength of our relationship when we were apart for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there was some testing there was some faith building there was some collaboration and communication between the two of us that we probably wouldn't have saw if we didn't have that distance between us. So it's all about your perspective and how you look at it.
And then also something else that you brought up that I think is an excellent point. A lot of time being first gen, you're the first person in your family, whether to graduate, the first person in your family to hold a corporate role or a leadership role in a large company, or even own your own company. Many times that causes you to travel, And I know a lot of times in our marriage, me going after certain jobs and things like that would require me, if I did accept the job, that would require me to travel somewhere else, and I would have to live there maybe several months before my wife and son could even, come up there or come to the city.
And we've done that.
And we've done that several times, and a lot of that long distance and the strength of our relationship came early in our relationship when we was doing it in college. So it wasn't as difficult, It came with its own. It came with its own challenges, but it wasn't as difficult. Long distance relationships, they can come at any stage in your life. Whether you get a job, whether you're going to school, or whether you just like another state and you want to buy a house in another state. So it can come at any point in your life. But these are just some tools and tips to things that we've done in our relationship that have helped groom us and make us a little bit more stronger to keep our connection tied to each other. So.
All right, y'all, that's what we got for you today. So we want to hear from you. If you're in a long distance relationship, or maybe you've been in a long distance relationship and something worked well for you, put it in the comment box below.
Yes.
We want to know about it. So we want to make sure you like this video, follow, share, subscribe, and let them know what's up, babe.
And you always remember to think, create, and change your own situation if you don't like it. Peace!
Yeah, no, 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 yeah, no, no, yeah, no, no, yeah, no, no.